Hi Bill, how's it going? Brian Kilmeade here. Want to congratulate you on the relaunch of Common Ground. It is great. I'm glad it's back. Also, I'm going to be in New Jersey, Red Bank, New Jersey. I'm coming there November 9th. 7 o'clock. Everybody who comes gets my brand new book, Teddy and Booker T. Hope to see everyone there. It's going to be a night of patriotism, motivation, inspiration, and most of all, fun. We all need it. See you there November 9th.
Hi, Joe here from Guaranteed Service. There's nothing worse than having your furnace or boiler break down during a cold spell. That's why this is a perfect time to take advantage of our $77 furnace or boiler tune-up. Our 21-point checklist covers everything needed to keep your system running safely and efficiently. We'll even guarantee no breakdowns all winter long or your repairs free. So call today for our $77 furnace or boiler tune-up and you'll become a customer for life. Guaranteed.
Hey everybody, welcome to Common Ground with Bill Spadea, brought to you by New Jersey 101.5. It's election night, it's exciting. We are at the North Brunswick pub. It is buzzing here. Bill is on his way. He will be joining us shortly. He has been on the trail all day. He's been on the trail for months, helping candidates across this state begin to get their message out and hopefully win tonight. So it's a big, big night. We are so happy that you're joining us. We're excited for Bill to get here, and we've got a few really special people to talk to. We're going to start with the Borowski family, who owns the North Brunswick pub. They've owned it for almost 45 years. We're going to talk to Katie, her dad Bruce, and incredible family. And this pub is great. If you haven't been here, you've got to come to the North Brunswick pub. These guys are patriots, an incredible family. We're also going to have a chance for Bill to interview Owen Henry, who's here tonight. He is mayor of Old Bridge since 2011, but running for Senate in Legislative District 12. So hopefully Owen is doing well. We'll hear more from him when Bill gets here. He's taking the seat of the longtime serving Senator Sam Thompson, so that's a change and hopefully a win for Owen tonight. And then we're going to hear from Sal Perulli. Sal is a fighter, member of the Garwood Board of Education. He is one of the original fighters, stepping in and standing up for parental rights, and he's paid a price for it. They've come after him, they've sued him. You'll hear the story tonight if you haven't heard it already, and it's incredible. People just, every day, Sal just decided he wasn't going to take it. He was going to stand up to fight for parental rights and to protect our kids, and you'll hear what's going on with all of that. So we will be here with Bill shortly. Stick with us. We're going to break for a commercial, and Bill will be walking in to this incredible electric environment very shortly. We'll be back with you.
Hey guys, Bill Spadea here. Like you, I am sick and tired of the culture of acceptance that has been beaten into us by Trenton politicians on both sides of the aisle. Accepting their higher taxes, accepting higher tolls, crumbling roads, accepting a radical school curriculum, accepting busloads of illegal border crossers, accepting prisoners being let out before they complete their sentences, and perhaps worst of all, accepting losing November after November. It is time to break the mentality of acceptance being pushed by Trenton politicians. We need to demand common sense policies and leaders who get it. I am excited to announce the launch of Elect Common Sense and to serve as its honorary chairman. It is time to get back to winning.
All right, guys, back with you. Elizabeth Nader here, sitting in for Bill Spadea, who we're waiting for. He's working hard on the trail. I know he was making phone calls tonight. By the way, before I introduce you to and talk to our fun fan here, did you vote? I voted. Did you vote yet? You can still vote. It's only barely 6 o'clock. The polls are open till 8 o'clock. Make sure you vote today. Bill's working hard out there, making phone calls. Still was walking with candidates until this morning, so there's a lot going on. So make sure you vote. Again, polls close at 8 o'clock. We're waiting for Bill to come. In the meantime, we just grabbed a super fan. Can I call you that?
Yes.
A super fan. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Chiquita Pittman, like Chiquita Banana.
Chiquita, where do you live?
I live in Somerset, New Jersey.
Okay, so how long have you been listening to BIll Spadea?
Oh my God, I've been listening to BIll Spadea for a few years now. I listen to him every morning. He is awesome. This would be the third time that I've had the pleasure of meeting him. And I just love what he stands for. The whole common sense is real, and he is exactly what I think, is my opinion, what New Jersey needs.
He's what New Jersey needs, yes. So you've been listening to 101.5 for a long time. You tune it to Bill every morning.
Every morning.
What are your favorite episodes? What do you love? Because people will say to me, what does he talk about? And I said, well, any given time he can be talking about meatballs or railing about politics. So what do you love most that he does?
I love Blue Friday.
You love Blue Friday?
Yes. He's all about the police, and I come from a blue family as well. So I love what he stands for. I love his energy.
Yeah.
And again, I think he is exactly what New Jersey needs.
So I got to ask you, do you ever disagree with Bill?
No, because the common sense is what we need right now.
Yeah. We're short of that. We're definitely short of that. So you come from a family who've served in with police or in military?
My uncle was a police officer in Boston.
Wow.
A retired police officer for 31 years. God
Amazing.
rest his soul. And his grandson just became a North Carolina state trooper.
Wow.
And then I have an uncle that retired from New Jersey State Police. So I'm all about blue myself. So it's great, the things that he does for the officers.
That's awesome. And for those of you who may not know, Friday is Blue Friday on NJ 101.5 on Bill Spadea's show. And he honors the sacrifice and the heroic stories, and even, you know, we're hearing stories now out of Israel, and he's honoring those the police force who had to step in on October 7th, that horrific day. So listen, Chiquita, we're thrilled that you're here.
Thank you.
And thank you for listening to him every
you.
day, for
Thank
your
you.
loyalty and all the things. It matters. And thank you for caring about common sense. New Jersey's going to change.
Absolutely. And God bless our blue.
All right, awesome. Thank you, Chiquita. All right, guys, super fans. We love our super fans. While we wait for Bill, we're going to go ahead and have Katie Boriski come up, and I'm going to talk to Katie, whose family owns the North Brunswick pub. We're in the North Brunswick pub tonight. The place is just buzzing. We want to hear about this great New Jersey institution. Katie, you want to put these on so that you can hear me and I can hear you?
Perfect.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I am great. We're so happy to be here. Thank you for inviting us in.
I'm so happy to have you guys.
We want to hear about the story behind your family and this New Jersey icon, the North Brunswick pub.
My father was 29 years old when he bought this bar. It was August 6th, 1979. I was not alive. And that's it. We're still going.
What is it that makes this place so unique, and people are so, because you hear people talking about it. I just spoke with somebody who said, you know, I grew up coming here and it's my old stomping grounds. And what is it that makes this place so special?
I mean, I really, you know, not to quote Cheers, but we are where everybody knows your name. We are a hometown bar. Everybody knows everybody. We're very welcoming. We're very diverse.
Yeah.
And we've been around so long. It's funny now for me, I don't bartend as much as I used to, but when I used to bartend, now I'm seeing, you know, my customers' kids that are turning 21.
45 years is a long time.
Yeah, and it's nice to see. I even have employees of mine that their parents worked here, that my father hired.
Yeah.
And, I mean, he's still very much involved. He's here every morning. I'm here. And then we've owned other bars in between. And we recently just sold a bar in New York City that we've owned for 25 years, the Reed Street Pub. And now we just opened Cold Snack Pub on December 30th of last year.
Well, congratulations. It's nice to hear that you're expanding. Of course, COVID isn't that far in our memory, right?
I mean, you hope so.
Hope so, but I mean, how hard was that for your industry?
Well, the industry itself lost a lot of money. It changed the morale of the industry as far as it made people scared.
Yeah.
We were never scared. you know, we followed the rules. We did what we had to do. But it was tough.
Yeah.
If we weren't in business for so long, it would have been much, much harder. A lot of newer restaurants and bars, they didn't last because they couldn't.
Right.
They couldn't.
Well, we lost a third of all businesses in the state of New Jersey
Yes.
during that time, not to come back. Thankfully, you guys weathered the storm. But as I look around here, and this place is packed and it's buzzing, as I said before, but I see a lot of signs that are patriotic. What are the values that your family cares about that you love to really put on display?
We're very, very big, supporter of the military and first responders. And it's something, I don't know anything else. My father has been like that since we've opened. And a lot of it really changed because we were in business near ground zero after 9/11. So when all of that happened, you never think you're going to be directly impacted by something like that.
Right.
But our other bar was so close to it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Wow.
we were about 5-6 blocks north of the World Trade Center. And, I was a senior in high school when it happened. My brother Brian, he runs our bar at Colts Neck. He was there. He was a young man. We were a fairly new business. And, we let firefighters in, everybody come in. It was like a safe haven. We were one of the first bars downtown to reopen after 9/11. And, my father served in the Air Force.
Oh, that's awesome.
My father-in-law's a Vietnam vet in the Army. And, it is what it's. I don't know anything else.
Yeah, that's awesome. You guys big listeners to Bill on 101.5?
Yes.
What do you love about his show?
Oh, I mean, he's one of us. So,
He's one of us.
Yeah, he aligns with everybody, you know, and that's what I feel about our place. We try to make sure that we, not that we don't get political at times, because unfortunately sometimes you have to, because they kind of inserted themselves into everything, but, we are just, accept everybody, want to hear everyone's opinion, you want everyone to have a voice.
Yeah.
That's really important.
So you guys are really invested in New Jersey, obviously.
Yes.
Your family's very invested here.
Mm-hmm.
Are you concerned about the future of the state, and what would you like to see change?
I think we need less government involvement. Let us do what we do.
Right.
And I mean, we've been in business for a really long time, and I grew up in the bar business, and, that's one thing, not that COVID was so, we all went through it, the whole country, the whole world, but it made us stronger as a family, as a business. We kept our employees working. It was very, very important to us to make, I can't tell you how many customers, employees were just so grateful that we stuck around and that we pushed through and that we, it was hard. It was really hard.
Well, let's hope never again, right? I mean, a lot of decisions were made during that time that really hurt a lot of businesses. So are you guys going to keep expanding? What do you see in your future?
Well, we just opened another location.
Right.
So that's, that's our focus right now. Bill has actually been there. Yeah. So that's our focus now. We would eventually, we want to expand and do like an outdoor area. So we did get cleared for it. So we do have it's just we need to bring up plans and all this and that, and it will be like a partially indoor outdoor space, but it will add a significant amount more seating. Yeah. So that is exciting.
All right, well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we love that you guys are fans. You're Uber fans.
Yes.
I think you've been that for a long time. You've had a Spadea sign up here for quite some time.
Yes.
It's kind of the fun thing to talk about, but we appreciate you hosting us here tonight. It's an exciting day. It's election day.
It is.
Every year in New Jersey we have an election. Every single year. Not every state is that way, but there's never a letdown in New Jersey. Every November somebody is on the ballot. And are you hearing more and more people talk about elections? Are you hearing more and more people?
Yeah, I will say, not to go back to the pandemic, but it made people start having different conversations at the bar. Yeah. Where, I grew up, you never talk about religion or politics, and that instantly changed.
Yes.
And it, especially everything going on now with wars and the economy, and and just everything. I mean, social issues, everything. They're talking here all the time, and people are looking forward to change.
Yeah, people want change.
Yeah. So I hope.
Let's hope they all voted.
That too. I voted. I hope they can figure out a fair voting system. And, we have to make sure, as not just New Jerseyans, but as a country, that the things that have happened in the last 3-4 years never happen again.
Amen to that. I couldn't say that better.
Never.
That is the truth.
And it's our duty as Americans to make sure that never happens again.
Yeah. Katie, I love it. I love the spirit that you have. I love the fact that you have a family business. This is what America is all about, entrepreneurism and family. And you taking a step out and expanding and taking the risk and letting the market tell you whether or not you'll be successful, not government.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I do. Awesome. I love New Jersey. I don't want to leave. I have so many friends who are like, we got to get out of this state.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no. We have the best of the best here.
We do.
And we have a great country.
Yes, we do.
But we need to save it.
Amen to that. Well, I just want to thank you again on behalf of Bill. He's actually walking in right now, so you get a chance to say hi.
Okay.
I think we're going to go to a commercial break so that he can come and take my chair.
Okay.
But Katie, thank you so much.
It was so nice to meet you. I'm so happy to have you here.
Absolutely. All right, guys, commercial break real quick, and then the real guy will be sitting here that you're wanting to see, Bill Spadea, in 2 minutes.
Hi, Bill. How's it going? Brian Kilmeade here. Want to congratulate you on the relaunch of Common Ground. It is great. I'm glad it's back. Also, I'm going to be in New Jersey, Red Bank, New Jersey. I'm coming there November 9th. 7 o'clock. Everybody who comes gets my brand new book, Teddy and Booker T. Hope to see everyone there. It's going to be a night of patriotism, motivation, inspiration, and most of all, fun. We all need it. See you there November 9th.
Hi, Joe here from Guaranteed Service. There's nothing worse than having your furnace or boiler break down during a cold spell. That's why this is a perfect time to take advantage of our $77 furnace or boiler tune-up. Our 21-point checklist covers everything needed to keep your system running safely and efficiently. We'll even guarantee no breakdowns all winter long or your repairs free. So call today for our $77 furnace or boiler tune-up and you'll become a customer for life. Guaranteed.
Hey guys, Bill Spadea here. Like you, I am sick and tired of the culture of acceptance that has been beaten into us by Trenton politicians on both sides of the aisle. Accepting their higher taxes, accepting higher tolls, crumbling roads, accepting a radical school curriculum, accepting busloads of illegal border crossers, accepting prisoners being let out before they complete their sentences. And perhaps worst of all, accepting losing November after November. It is time to break the mentality of acceptance being pushed by Trenton politicians. We need to demand common sense policies and leaders who get it. I am excited to announce the launch of Elect Common Sense and to serve as its honorary chairman. It is time to get back to winning. Hey guys, Bill Spadea here. Welcome back to Common Ground with Bill Spadea. That's me, brought to you by New Jersey 101.5. So sorry that I was late. Elizabeth Nader did a fantastic job filling in, and I want to thank Katie and Bruce. The North Brunswick pub is one of the best pubs in New Jersey, seconded only by the Colts Neck Pub, of course. Both owned by the same family. Fantastic. Food's great. The beer's great. The company is great. We're happy to be here. Today is Election Day, New Jersey. This is it. It's about 6 o'clock now. Polls will be closing in 2 hours. So if you are listening to me, watching me live, you got to get out and vote. Now, this election is actually different than many elections we've had. I was on Newsmax earlier today, and one of the conversations that had come up earlier was that some of the reporters out there, some of the political reporters, are saying that this is an election that has been nationalized with the issues. I don't agree at all. Let me tell you what I mean by that. They're trying to say that the Democrats have created a national issue, whether it comes to abortion, etc., and they are now driving votes up in states across this country. Ohio, where there's a ballot referendum that will take the abortion issue and put it in their constitution. There are governor's races in Kentucky and in Mississippi. Now, what's happening is that Republicans across the country are actually starting to see a surge. And the reason? Because the election is not national down. The election is grassroots up. What's happened is abortion has not become the national issue driving Democratic candidates to victory. Parental rights have become the local issue driving up the vote. And I can tell you, we just left our good friend Matt Mensch, who is the mayor of Bridgewater. Hopefully he will be reelected by a large margin tonight. I'll be headed down to Ocean County, then over to Mercer. I was on the phone all day. We've got 100 candidates that we're supporting. There are several issues that are first and foremost. Number one, parental rights. Number two, protecting small businesses like this, like the North Brunswick Pub, that employs people and has sustainable jobs and has become a foundation of this North Brunswick, Middlesex County neighborhood. And then there's law enforcement. When you look at the national issues, the Democrats don't stand a chance. They've got an open border where we're funding two conflicts, one that makes zero sense. In my opinion, the Ukraine war is just nothing more than a money laundering operation. We should not be spending a dime in Ukraine. On the other side, in Israel, we've got the Biden administration that they're playing footsie with Hamas. They're trying to get a pause in the action. Let me tell you something. When it comes to Israel, we need 100% total victory over Hamas. According to one of the Israeli defense organizations, they said now they're at a point where they estimate 58% of Palestinians are polling in favor of Hamas. This is after the bloody, torturous, murderous massacre on October 7th. Totally unacceptable. If you're innocent, get out of Gaza. If you're not, you're going to unfortunately be caught up in what should be a total victory by the Israeli forces. And for those innocents that get caught up in it, you pray for their souls. But the bottom line is you pray for total victory. We cannot coexist with evil. We have to defeat and destroy the forces of evil. Now, back to New Jersey. What does it mean for us on election night? Those are all the big issues. And when you talk about the national debt, when you talk about the cost of living, when you talk about the cost of fuel, when you talk about the war against fossil fuels, it's hurting our trucking and our fishing and our energy production and driving energy costs up for the average working class family. The Republicans have the edge nationally. Locally, we have the edge because of parental rights, because of the disaster of bail reform, creating a revolving door for criminals, because Trenton is completely out of control. We've had a governor that has run roughshod over your medical freedom, over your parental rights, over your economic freedom, over your religious liberty for the past term and a half. I mean, literally, he came into office in 2017, got reelected in 2021 because the Republicans did such a terrible job of fighting him. Well, now the opportunity has turned around, and we're finding that Republicans at the local level are taking back their streets, they're taking back their school boards, taking back their county offices. Now, my next guest he's an important guy because he represents one of the things that has happened in New Jersey where we are seeing an entire bench of local leaders who are mayors, who are members of council, who served on the school board, planning board, etc., rising up to the level now of the legislature. And there is an opportunity tonight that the Republicans could take back seats in both the Senate and the Assembly. My next guest is the mayor of Old Bridge in Middlesex County, a great guy, friend of ours. His name is Owen Henry, and he is just hours away from, I hope, being called the Senator-elect. I'm going to bring in Mayor Owen Henry now. He's off to stage left, but he's coming in. Sometimes when you do a production in a bar, you don't have all of the breaks, etc. Owen, how you doing? Great to see you. Here, I got headphones for you. So, first of all, thank you for being here.
Bill, let me thank you publicly and personally for all the nice things you said about me
Thank
on
you.
the radio. If I had $1 for everyone who called me and said, Bill was talking about you this morning on the radio and just the support you've given me over the years. I've known you for years. And, I'm not a talker, so I'm a doer. I get the
You're a
things
doer.
done.
Well,
I get
let's
things
talk
done.
about that. I mean, here you are in an environment where you're a very effective and successful mayor, well respected, honestly, on both sides of the aisle.
Absolutely.
I mean, you get a lot of Democrat votes, you get a lot of independent votes. you're carrying that now into the state Senate, and by all looks of this, from not just what we're seeing on the ground in terms of turnout, but honestly what we've seen for the past, I would say, 6 months to 8 months, you are surging to a very convincing victory tonight. First of all, how do you feel? And second of all, what's the first thing you want to do?
I am nervously optimistic. Of course, anyone who puts their name on a ballot, it's not an easy day. When you have people judging you and picking between you and two other people. It's stressful.
Yeah.
Nobody ever wants to go through that in life. But I am cautiously optimistic. Like-minded people like myself, hardworking people, are going to come out and support me. And I hope they do, because I have a lot to offer down at Trenton.
You do. There's no doubt. I mean, if you take just your fiscal policies alone, balancing the budget, keeping the taxes down, understanding how to consolidate where it's practical, are you concerned at all that you're going to get into the state Senate and say, okay, this is a lot harder than I thought. There are too many people here that really don't want to move the needle?
I faced that 12 years ago when I took over as mayor. People called me clueless at the time. I wasn't going to know what to do. I know what to do, Bill. I'm a businessman. I know how to fix things, and I think I've made my living. And that's what I've done in Old Bridge, constantly fix things. Everything we touch, we've made better in Old Bridge. I took a town over that couldn't make payroll, had to make some real difficult decisions, very difficult. People hold that against me for having to take some real difficult steps. But look, 12 years later, I think the town is in good financial shape for the next 30 years.
It's healthy.
It's very healthy.
Old Bridge is a healthy town. I mean, one of the strongest in Middlesex.
And people say overdevelopment, overcrowding. But the last 10 years, Bill, our population has stayed the same. Between 2010 and 2020, population-wise, we have not grown. We've changed. We've become a much more elder population, more affluent. But Old Bridge, I believe, is a lot better. Are you seeing the diversity
too? I mean, we're seeing, there's the largest minority group in New Jersey, Asian Americans. The largest group of Asian Americans are Indian Americans, and it is the fastest growing group in the state. And what's interesting to me is that I've spoken to a lot of these groups that neither party has yet to really get a hold on the Asian American community. I mean, it was very Democrat when Governor Murphy was running for re-election. You'll love this. I gave a speech to a small group. 40 businessmen were there, and I asked, I said, how many of you wrote a check to Phil Murphy last time? Every hand went up. And I said, well, how's that working out for you? And then we laughed and broke the ice. So do you see that opportunity, and have you seen that with the minority communities in Old Bridge?
Yes, a big increase in a lot of minorities. Old Bridge is a very diverse community, and I think that's what makes it so great. And I've embraced all the ethics and all the cultures, and been to everyone's event, and on the business owners, a lot of Asian-owned businesses, and I've been right there for them and let them know we could do better. We can do better in Trenton for our small business owners.
What are they saying to you? I mean, my guess is you've had conversations with Tony Bucco, who's going to be potentially the majority leader in the Senate, and are they having conversations about policy at this point?
Yes, he came up with a plan. Yeah, he came up with a plan. He made it public last week. The 7 steps we're going to take. Obviously, parental rights are right up there on the top.
Yep.
Well, the offshore wind was canceled, thank God. So we're still going to be
dealing.
That was.
Yes. And you were a big voice in that. I mean, here you are. You were not directly in on some of the towns that were really suffering with the whales coming up and all that.
We're a short town. We do have waterfront.
But you were a champion. You were aggressive.
Well, and Bill, I had to be very careful because I'm with the trades, who had supposedly sold a bill of goods that they were going to benefit from this. We have a better way to employ more people, cleaner energy, more just lower rates. It goes against everything the governor wanted to do. The opposite, meet the demand of electricity here in New Jersey. That's my business.
It's funny you say the trades, and we've talked to a lot of them there, right? IBEW and the carpenters and bricklayers. I mean, heavy equipment, all of these.
The iron workers, fellow iron workers.
We love the iron workers, but I think they were all anticipating a flood of jobs. And what I've said is that imagine if we diverted that money from wind and put it into improving the natural gas infrastructure, in building a nuclear power plant. But we don't have enough trades folks now to fill all the jobs that we could create in the next 5 years.
And I constantly recruit. I go to the schools. Everyone doesn't have to go to college. You can get a good, well-paying job that you can raise a family, send your kids to school, and in the trades. We are always looking for tradesmen and tradeswomen.
What was the number one issue in Old Bridge? Because as I said, I mean, yes, so many towns in New Jersey are waterfront, but when you saw what was happening in Point Pleasant, you saw where, they were seeing this in Sea Isle City. I mean, these are beach towns, and the beach towns were taking the brunt of the wind debacle with the lines coming in, etc. What were you hearing from residents in Old Bridge?
It was getting rammed down their throat.
Yeah.
There was no option. There was no discussion. You're getting them. They're coming. Here they come. And I thought it was, from day one, it was not a well thought out plan.
Yeah.
It's not going to meet the needs of New Jersey. I mean, when you have all the windmills and their production, it's a drop in the bucket of the electrical needs here.
Yeah.
And, environmentally, well, we saw what it did to the marine life. But those windmills are not wireless. Cables need to be run from the ocean bottom, dredged through the bottom of the ocean, and on land, and whether run underground or above line, they're going to have a negative impact on the environment also.
What about if we go back a little bit and talk about what the Republican majority might do in terms of the thousands of elderly New Jersey residents, family members, grandparents, who died during COVID when we knew that Judy Persichilli ordered, as the health commissioner, that the hospitals would release an elderly patient, and even though they were sick and symptomatic, right back into the long-term facility.
Obviously, I don't know why they're not being called out on it. Yeah. They weren't called out in Trenton. I think the governor got a pass and his staff, and hopefully we can resurrect that, because there are a lot of people who want answers, and we lost a lot of people in nursing homes in Old Bridge, and I know they are very upset.
Oh, and real quick, what about veterans? We have a very high rate of veteran unemployment in New Jersey. The Democratic majority has been in power since, 20 years now that they've been in power, where it flipped. It went from a veto-proof Republican majority back in 2000, and by 2003, it all slipped away. Here we are 20 years later. We've got massive debt, $210 billion in unfunded future liabilities. We've got unfinished roadway projects. Pennsylvania, they're out there fixing, I think it's 250 bridges. They're going to do it in 2 years under budget. We've got hundreds of bridges that are in disrepair, and I think in the last 2 years we've fixed 11.
Our infrastructure is a disaster here in New Jersey.
So what's the first thing if let's say we get the majority, what would you see as the top priority of Republicans to undo what the Democrats have done?
That's a tough question, Bill, and I'm not.
Yeah.
There are so many issues we have.
Yeah,
There's just so many, but we have to start, and I think that's what's important about today. It's a starting point.
Yeah.
We go down and take issue by issue and find out how my fellow senators, how we're going to,
Right.
We have some very bright people down in Trenton. And let's just pick away at it. The parental rights are no important for everybody, and that goes across, party lines.
Yeah.
The veterans, as you said, that's an issue across party lines. That's not a Republican.
Absolutely.
And I'm fortunate to have Joint Base McGuire in the district.
Yes.
General Doyle Cemetery is in my district, North Hanover, and we can't do enough for our veterans.
Yeah. It's amazing that, I don't know if it is still the highest in the country, but it is among the highest of veteran unemployment. And I can't for the life of me understand how the Democrats have literally done nothing with this. Nothing. 20 years.
We're doing some affordable housing in town, veteran preferred. I hope we'll get anyone who's a veteran who's struggling with housing to get them a house.
Well, I will tell you this. There are very few Republicans that I can look at and say, let's go down and check the boxes. Are you a leader? Do you have the integrity? Do you have the principles, the courage, the fight, the vigor, the ability, and then the ideas in terms of lowering debt, lowering taxes, infrastructure? Owen, I've got to tell you, one of the few that you check all the boxes, and
I believe you could check all those boxes,
yeah.
And I've proven that over 12 years.
Yeah, you have.
I mean, it's been tough. We faced everything nature and God could throw at us.
Yeah.
We always came out a better town after it. And
what's the first thing you're going to do tomorrow? Let's say the polls close and we're declaring you the senator-elect. What's the first thing you do? Who do you call first?
Well, my grandson lives with me, so I'm going to give him a big hug. I've been promising him to take him down to the State House. Obviously going to call my girlfriend, my family. They're coming into. My son's in from Switzerland for the election
that's
today.
Fantastic. It's
so I'm going to thank God. First thing, I'm going to get up in the morning, hopefully. I don't
God
take
willing,
any day.
Right? God willing.
As you get older, you worry about those things.
Well, Mr. Mayor, it has been a pleasure working with you.
I can't wait to work with you, Bill. And
thank you.
When we do have a problem in Trent, we're going to reach out to you.
Yeah. Well, look, the microphone is yours, and I've said this, that we are talking to the largest audience in the state, and as you know, people are listening. And they
get
want
out,
solutions.
Please get out and vote.
Get out and vote. You got 2 hours left.
We hear if you don't vote, don't complain. This is beyond that. If you don't vote in this election, bad things are going to happen to you, your family, and more people are going to have to leave New Jersey because of the results of today, the consequences of what happens tonight.
And I've got a bet with my news anchor, Eric Scott, that I bet the over on turnout, setting it at 28%. So get out there and vote, because I've got a bottle of bourbon on the line.
That favors us and like-minded people like me.
It does.
People getting out because
That's it.
they're motivated to come out because they can make a difference.
Yes. They can. Thank you.
Thanks,
Always great
Bill.
to talk to you.
I appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you.
Looking
Always
forward
great to have you. I'm going to have you on the radio very soon. As a matter of fact, you're welcome to come on tomorrow and do a victory lap. All right? I don't want to jinx anything, though, so we'll wait until tomorrow. I'll text you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Owen Henry, great mayor of Old Bridge, is going to be an outstanding state senator representing Middlesex and Monmouth County. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we are going to take a quick break with our sponsor. Hey, by the way, I just found out today, Guaranteed Service, brand new sponsor, my buddy Helmy. Let me tell you something, guys. You need a guy in New Jersey, Guaranteed Service. They are the right guys. We're going to hear from them right quick, and then I'm going to bring in my next guest, who you could argue was the start of this entire battle to protect parental rights. His name is Sal Perulli. He is a Board of Education member in Garwood, and he got this whole thing rolling by standing up for mom and dad and kids. We'll be right back.
Hi, Joe here from Guaranteed Service. There's nothing worse than having your furnace or boiler break down during a cold spell. That's why this is a perfect time to take advantage of our $77 furnace or boiler tune-up. Our 21-point checklist covers everything needed to keep your system running safely and efficiently. We'll even guarantee no breakdowns all winter long or your repairs free. So call today for our $77 furnace or boiler tune-up and you'll become a customer for life. Guaranteed.
Hey guys, Bill Spadea here. Like you, I am sick and tired of the culture of acceptance that has been beaten into us by Trenton politicians on both sides of the aisle. Accepting their higher taxes, accepting higher tolls, crumbling roads, accepting a radical school curriculum, accepting busloads of illegal border crossers, accepting prisoners being let out before they complete their sentences, and perhaps worst of all, accepting losing November after November. It is time to break the mentality of acceptance being pushed by Trenton politicians. We need to demand common sense policies and leaders who get it. I am excited to announce the launch of Elect Common Sense and to serve as its honorary chairman. It is time to get back to winning. Hey guys, Bill Spadea here. Welcome back to Common Ground with me, Bill Spadea, brought to you by New Jersey 101.5 and our many advertisers, which you'll hear from throughout the show. I want to thank Brian Kilmeade for giving us a great opportunity to partner with his next event that's happening in Red Bank on Thursday. We've got a lot of good folks going to that. Brian's been a good voice of reason on the air. You don't have many of them these days. As we were talking, today's election day. Now, for me, it's like the Super Bowl. Like, this is it. This is a day I love because this is wow. They're bringing in beer for us now. Sal, do you want a beer?
I'd love one.
All right, can we get one more? Can we get one more? Yes, thank you. Now we are here at the North Brunswick Pub in North Brunswick, Middlesex County, right off Route 1, and my guest here is Sal Perulli. Now, we've talked about Election Day and the importance of this Election Day in particular. One of the things going on, excuse me, in this Election Day is that we are seeing a ground-up battle. Now, most election seasons, what you hear about is coattails. You hear about the guys at the top running a strong campaign, whether it's for president, for governor, senator, and even state senator, and pulling up the down-ballot candidates, whether they're school board, assembly, council, committee, whatever they are. This year is different. This year, what we're seeing, and I can tell you, I have been doing this a long time, I've never seen a season where there were more Board of Education signs on the street corners and in front of homes than just about any legislative candidate out there. So I wanted to bring my friend Sal Perulli on. He is with the Garwood Board of Education. Now, I'm going to give his disclaimer for him. Anything you hear from Sal today is not on behalf of the Board of Education. He is not speaking for any government entity. This is Sal as a person. Did I get that right, Sal?
You got it. Or business entity.
Or business entity, right. want to get our disclaimers out there. First of all, cheers, Sal, and happy Election Day to you. So here's the thing. Thank you to the staff at the North Brunswick Pub. Tip your servers. This is an outstanding place in New Jersey. So about a year and a half ago, you uncovered this battle that we had no idea was going to be so huge, where there was a curriculum being pushed by the Department of Education at the state level and then infused into local libraries where kids had access to what any normal person would call pornography. Now, I've had the lawyers correct people and say, well, you can't really call it pornography. Let me tell you something. You've got depictions of sex acts available to 4th and 5th graders. So I don't care what you want to call it. It's bad and it's not appropriate for kids. And I'll take it a step further. Most parents who tried to read this stuff in Board of Education meetings were shut down, had the mics turned off, thrown out because it was not appropriate material. So, Sal, you were one of the first that brought it to my attention. You have been through the ringer. You have been sued. You have been. They've had complaints against you, all for standing up for kids and parents. Tell me, take us back to where it started and how it started.
Sure. So, thank you. And the disclaimer was perfect. So I don't have to repeat it. So there was a big grassroots effort in my town, small town of Garwood. Who we all noticed this was happening during COVID. These standards and guidelines for sex ed were passed and then tried to force upon the school district. So I was the first one in the state.
Just injected that. It was June of 2020.
Correct.
So we had been locked down by this governor in March. We were trying to figure out how to get out while New Jerseyans were struggling with their kids doing their homework at the dining room table, trying to do Zoom classes while you were trying to balance work. Everybody's masked up. They were passing a sex curriculum.
Correct. And
Disgusting.
when we saw this, we saw what was in it, and literally it's telling school districts that you have to teach kids as young as kindergarten about anal sex, oral sex, and masturbation, and whatever gender they think they are or want to be. So I was the first one in the state to actually write a resolution and get a resolution passed that said, hey, our school district's not doing this, okay? We're going to keep the standards and guidelines. You got to keep those because of QSAC scores, which is, bribing the school districts. If you don't get a high QSAC score, they're not going to fund you.
They deny your funding.
They deny your funding,
Right.
So it's bribery.
So the state literally treated the schools like they were a mafia organization.
100%.
And,
they still do.
we're not going to give you your VIG unless you do what we said.
Yeah, 100%. And so the resolution passed. Shortly thereafter, all of a sudden, I'm getting attacked. The Board of Ed flipped on me. I would find out that they had been pressured to get rid of me, to do something about us and turn the resolution over. So what they did was...
How many people on the board at the time?
9.
9-member board. Your resolution to get rid of this junk out of the schools.
Passes 7-2.
7-2. So 6 other folks said, yes, Sal, you're right. This is nonsense. Mm-hmm. How many of them turned?
All of them. What happened?
All of them.
What happened was they
Cowards.
started making up... Well, 2 did not, okay, originally. And then I found out that they ended up voting me off the Clark Board of Ed. See, we are a sending district. Our kids go to high school in Clark. I sat on that Board of Ed also. And in the dark of night, with no reason, no legit reason, they had me pulled off that Board of Ed and replaced. And when I asked or pushed for a reason, a legit reason, because they started coming up with these crazy allegations against me, like I was leaking information from executive sessions and all this silly stuff.
Lies.
Just
We call them lies.
Lies to completely destroy my reputation. And now they're talking about ethic complaints that would destroy my life, that things that would really harm me. And they had me pulled off the Clark Board of Ed. So the next thing, myself and my attorney, Ron Brody, Ron.
I know Ron.
He's a great
yeah.
guy,
He's
awesome
a fighter.
guy.
Ron's
you
a
guys
fighter.
need an attorney, reach out to Ron. That's my plug for
Many
you,
of you
Ronnie.
actually know Ron
Yep.
because Ron was on our list as we went through this COVID nightmare and the lockdowns. Ron was on our list of attorneys. One of the things that we did with the radio station, at least I can speak for my show, is we turned it into a resource for people who were fighting big corporate, fighting the government, et cetera. So Ron was certainly one of those champions of liberty.
So Ron's been great. And what we did was we filed a notice of claim. And so that notice of claim is not a lawsuit. That's important. What it was, okay, you're not going to tell me why you want to pull all these fake charges against me and ethical reasons why you're pulling me off the Board of Ed for Clark, then we're going to have to do it legally. So we filed a notice of claim to try to get discovery. The Board of Ed then in turn, and it was the former Board of Ed attorney, he's now been fired, decided we're going to sue Sal. So they sued me not once, but twice.
personally.
They came after me personally.
And let's back up. This all stemming from Sal Perulli saying, hey, you're teaching this inappropriate stuff in school. We're sexualizing the kids. We ought to stop it. And he had 7-2 support on his board. So this came out of nowhere.
Yep. And they were going. And I said it from the beginning. And the very first time I spoke to you was they're going to try to use me as an example, an example of what they can do throughout the state. So after they sued me twice, they lost both times. We filed a motion for them to cover all the costs for these lawsuits because state statute says, hey, if a Board of Ed member gets sued, we have insurance that says you have to cover those costs. Well, a judge just said no.
No, they're not going to cover.
Which, it sets such a horrible precedence now that they can go after any individual that stands up for parental rights and goes against their disgusting agenda.
Now, did you appeal that?
Well, we have to appeal it, and that's why I'm asking everybody to help.
All right, is there a Give, Send, Go?
Yes, what is it? GiveSendGo/Parents Project.
So I will make sure, so I'm going to ask you to tag me on Twitter, at Bill Spadea, and we will share that. I will also put this on the New Jersey 101.5 website. Mm-hmm. So when this show gets posted to our free New Jersey 101.5 app, we're going to have the link to this because I think it's very important. So it's GiveSendGo.com/Parents Project.
So it's extremely important because they've set now a precedence, if I don't appeal this, that they can go after any board member that stands up against them, and that board member will have no say. And they did this at this time because, as you said, there's so many board members that are running now for parental rights. They're standing up for our children. We're seeing these snowflakes start turning into snowballs. Look at what happened in Hanover with when they passed.
Well, they fought back.
In Hanover fought back.
And everybody thought they caved. They didn't. They actually waited for the right time to then throw out the entire policy.
Exactly. And you saw what the reaction of the Attorney General was.
That's right.
Sue them. I'm going to sue Hanover. So they went after Hanover. They sued them. It got thrown out.
Right.
And because the AG went after the whole board, the state, the taxpayers, had to cover those legal costs. And this is what's going to keep happening now.
And by the way, the result of that, so they sue Hanover, they lose, it gets thrown out. The Attorney General then had to say that this was actually a guideline and not a mandate.
Yep.
So if you are a member of the school board, if you are running for school board today, it is election day, and we are live here from the North Brunswick pub in North Brunswick, right on Route 1 in Middlesex County. If you're running, and what time is it now? So we've got an hour and 21 minutes before the polls close.
Crunch time.
This is all about parental rights. And Sal, I will tell you that, and you can go to my website, by the way, BillSpadea.com. Go to BillSpadea.com. Across the top, there's a link. There's a tab that says About. Scroll down to Endorsements, and I'm just going to show you real quick. This is what it looks like, so you can all see this. So scroll down to the endorsement page. And I'm going to read a few of these names off later so you know who you're voting for. We've got more than 100 candidates that we have endorsed. Many of them, about a third of them, are running for Board of Education. So it's all about not only repealing what the state has done, but I will tell you, Sal, you go back to 2021 when the Republicans were figuring out how to lose to Murphy. We were focused on school board elections and a couple hundred new school board members. Then in 2022, when the Republicans were figuring out how to not turn Democrat seats into Republican seats in the House in New Jersey, we were focused on school board seats. All in, more than 500 new school board members. It's one of the reasons why we've had such pushback. Now this year, there's an opportunity. Hundreds and hundreds of school board members are on the ballot this year, and there is only one issue, and that is there is no way that you're going to push this gender ideology on my child without me knowing about it. We shouldn't be pushing it anyway, but at the first step, we got to get parents involved.
Yep, and I believe also every state legislature is on the ballot who made your kids mask up. Just remember that.
Thank you for saying that.
Every legislature is on the ballot today who forced your kids to put those masks on and physically harm them. So, one more thing I want to say back into Ron is that,
and not just the masks, but the isolation.
Yeah.
I mean, you see the rise in calls to the suicide hotline. We've had kids as young as 9 call the suicide hotline. I mean, what happened? And I've said this. Now, I'm going to say this, and this will make some of my Republican friends mad, but I'm the one that over 2 years has called out the Republicans that were weak on this because it's not about Republican or Democrat. It's about standing up for kids and parents and teachers, the rule of law. It's about standing up for the Constitution, standing up for our freedom. Now, I'm going to tell you from this seat today, that I want you all to vote straight Republican, and I'll tell you why. We have to change majorities in Trenton or none of this gets solved. That said, day one, tomorrow, I'll be holding those new Republicans accountable to say, hey, you've got to follow the line of what parents and businesses and average citizens want to see in this state.
Yeah,
I'll give you the last word because I know I got to run to my endorsements.
No.
Go ahead.
Sorry. And just to go back, if I lose this appeal, what attorney's going to want to take up a defense, when they know that there's no chance to win? And, again, column B in Union County, Republicans straight down the line. We need to win this. We need to have parents in Hanover. Make sure you're out there voting for that team that stuck up for your kids, especially, because that's going to set the example throughout the state against the opposition who are endorsed by Murphy.
Sal, you've said it well, and I say this over and over again. I've been around. My wife Jody and I have been campaigning now for a year and a half, helping local candidates out and doing our part. And one of the things that I say repeatedly, and you're a great example of this, no one is coming to save us. Whether you love Donald Trump or you don't love Donald Trump, when Donald Trump was president, we lost a lot of our rights here in New Jersey. Yeah. And the way we get them back is we build it from the ground up. So you thought maybe 2 years ago, 3 years ago, it didn't matter who sat on the Garwood Board of Education. Sal Perulli sits on the Board of Education in Garwood, thankfully, as a champion of parental rights and student rights and education. We need to stop with the propaganda and the pronouns and start teaching American greatness, start teaching arithmetic, start teaching actual history, not social justice, garbage, revisionist history. And that's just the start of it. But Sal, I credit you with being one of the first people to bring it to my attention, which allowed me to get it out to the largest audience in the state, which in turn over the past 2 years, there is a groundswell of people out there. And you, Sal, deserve a lot of the credit. So you got to help this man because he took on the fight at tremendous risk. This is a guy that with all these legal bills, you're talking about loss of business, loss of dwelling. There are any number of things that can happen. But as Sal said, one of the most important things is you want to send a message to other boards of education members that, guys, it's okay to fight back because somebody has your back. So go to GiveSendGo.com and look up
Parents Project.
Parents Project. There's so many things. Parents' rights, parental rights. I got 900 things in my head. Yeah. Parents Project on Give, Send, Go. Support Sal Perulli. Support every Board of Education member that is willing to stand up and fight for your rights. It's time. Thank you, Sal.
Thank you, sir.
Great to see you.
Appreciate it.
All right, really appreciate you coming on. All right, guys, as I wrap up, so here's what I'm going to do. Before I was late because of traffic, Sal, cheers. Happy Election Day. Before I was 15 minutes late starting the broadcast, I had a whole plan that I was going to go through all of our endorsements. Now I got a new plan because it is coming up on 6:40 and I have exactly 4 minutes to get in the car and get to my speech in Ocean County. We're doing 4 counties tonight. It is election night. I want to leave you with this. Go to the website right now, BillSpadea.com. There's an About tab at the top. Scroll down to endorsements and read some of the endorsements. At the top of the page, you've got Carmen Amato, Micheline Atea, Chris Ariyama, all going to be new senators if the voters turn out. You've got an hour and 10 minutes to get out there. Your vote counts. Let me leave you with this thought, because this is not just about this election. It's about the election in 2024 and then in 2025. Here in 2023, we have an enormous opportunity to change the majority in the Assembly and in the state Senate. Now, I believe that Owen Henry is going to go to the Senate tonight. We know that Carmen Amato is going to go to the Senate in the Ocean County District. We know that Micheline Atea is in a dogfight. It's going to be close in the 38th. We know that Chris Ariyama is running a great campaign in Bergen County's 36th. We know that our friend Ed Durr in the 3rd District is fighting the right fight for the right reasons, and I believe he is going to prevail tonight. He's a good man. He's a good friend. He deserves your vote and support. But, guys, when the dust settles, tomorrow, Wednesday, November 8th, it's day one. We're going to have to look at what has happened today. What was the turnout? How many new assembly members? How many school boards did we win? How many commissioner seats? Did we keep red counties red? Did we turn blue counties purple? What happened? I'll break it down for you on the radio tomorrow morning, New Jersey 101.5 FM, 6 to 10 a.m. on every weekday. But then we start looking toward 2024. And I know, a lot of you are saying, well, 2024 is all about the presidential election. No, it's not. While you're focused on the presidential election, let me tell you where my focus is going to be. Local, local, local. Mayors, commissioners, school board members. Again,